And that's a look at some of what's in the papers this morning. You've done with the sports section.
Today's story is about the latest chapter for a beloved local business.
It's a beautiful day with temperatures in the 60s, but showers are expected in the next hour.
In a city that's always on the go, it's important to stop to hear the stories that connect us.
The news that matters to New Yorkers. That's what brings us together. That's Mornings on One.
Weekdays starting at 6.
Exclusively on Spectrum.
It's 9 o'clock. 1-800-GOT-JUNK for home or office. We make junk disappear.
Tuesday morning here. Pat continuing his time off. We are following developments with Luigi Mangione, arrested yesterday in Pennsylvania. Daniel Penny acquitted of the charges against him in the chokehold death of Jordan Neely. A lot of developments yesterday, and even still with a bit of resolution on some of them, the stories are continuing.
And it was really wild to see kind of them both come to a head at the same exact time, right? These two major stories here in New York City. And it was wait, bam, we got answers.
Exactly. And we're also following big fog moving in through our area all day. There's going to be a storm tonight and tomorrow. Here's Guy now with your Weather on the One's forecast.
Here's your Weather on the One's forecast. Today we'll hit 54 degrees, which is well above average. And if you're going to be traveling, mainly quiet weather flying to the Midwest, the Mountain West, and then the West Coast. But if you are going to be going north and south of New York City, prepare to hit some clouds and some spotty showers and some heavier downpours in the southeastern section of the country, especially towards areas like Louisiana, New Orleans, the panhandle of Florida. But as far south as Miami, you have temperatures in the 80s as well if you're going to be heading out to the Caribbean. 84, fog here in Seattle, 60 from the Bay, also Los Angeles, upper 60s and low 70s. Back home to New York City, light rain moves in tonight with a low of 50 degrees, which is pretty toasty for this time of the year, especially when talking about lows. Let's time things out. Here's Futurecast. You can see temperatures here in the 50s. Here's a look at tonight, 6 p.m. Just a few spotty showers. After 6, expect widespread rain, light rain that is tonight. And then tomorrow, notice you have plenty of rain in the forecast tomorrow. So just give yourself extra time getting out of the door with some downpours in the forecast tomorrow, even some embedded thunderstorms. The brunt of the storm tomorrow will occur during the afternoon hours. Still some periods of heavy rain tomorrow morning. We clear Thursday, Friday. You'll have some sunshine both days, 40s on Sunday with the chance for rain.
And coming up in a few minutes, I'll be joined by former Chief of Department at the NYPD, Rodney Harrison, to talk about yesterday's apprehension of the suspect in the Midtown murder. First, though, here's Shannon with today's top stories.
Jamie, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Here's a look at some of what's happening today. A new Siena poll out this morning finds a majority of New York voters want the state to support President-elect Trump's efforts to deport illegal migrants, while 87% of Republicans support the measure. 38% of Democrats also agree the state should cooperate with Trump's efforts. In New York City, 51% of voters think the state should work with the federal government to deport people living here illegally. In other news today, a grenade was found inside of a passenger's carry-on luggage at LaGuardia Airport yesterday. A TSA spokesperson tweeted out this image of the explosive. While it was real, it was inactive. The passenger reportedly told officers he picked up the grenade at a museum gift shop. The man had to surrender it, but he is not facing any charges. For the 4th year in a row, the number of people riding bikes over East River bridges has reached an all-time high. The Department of Transportation says more than 28,000 cyclists crossed the Brooklyn, Manhattan, Williamsburg, and Queensboro bridges each day in 2024. That is up 8% over last year. And the city is lifting its ban on open flames and fireworks following the recent rain. It's unclear if that means the recently canceled New Year's Eve fireworks in Central Park and Prospect Park will be rescheduled. New Yorkers are still being asked to conserve water while the city remains under a drought warning. I'm Shannon Ferry, and that's a look at some of the day's top stories.
The man suspected in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson is now in custody. Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old Ivy League graduate, was arrested at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania yesterday after an employee there recognized him from surveillance photos and called the police. On him, police recovered a gun, 4 fake IDs, and writings that could link him to that ambush last week. Mangione is charged with murder and awaiting extradition back to New York. New York One's Alyssa Palicelli joins us from outside the Manhattan District Attorney's Office with the latest developments.
Jamie, that extradition hearing that would bring Luigi Mangione back here to the city could happen as early as today after the Manhattan District Attorney's Office filed murder and other charges against him late last night. A chance sighting inside a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, more than 200 miles away from Midtown Manhattan, brought a nationwide manhunt to an end. An observant customer allegedly noticed 26-year-old Luigi Mangione sitting in the back of the restaurant, wearing a mask and similar clothing seen in the photos circulated by police of their person of interest in the case involving the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. That customer informed an employee, and that employee called 911.
The McDonald's employee did something we ask every American to do. If you see something, say something, but most importantly, do something.
Not long after local police arrived, Mangione, an Ivy League graduate from a wealthy Maryland real estate family, was taken into custody. Police said when they asked the 26-year-old if he had been to New York City recently, he became nervous and uncomfortable. Inside the backpack he had on him, police found a 3D printed pistol and silencer, similar to the weapon used to kill the 50-year-old healthcare executive. A fraudulent New Jersey ID matching the one the suspect used to check into a Manhattan hostel before the shooting was also recovered, along with a 3-page document giving investigators some insight to his mindset and motive.
We don't think that there's any specific threats to other people mentioned in that document, but it does seem that he has some ill will toward corporate America.
Mangione remains in jail in Pennsylvania, where he was also charged with possession of an unlicensed firearm, forgery, and providing false identification to police. And as Manhattan prosecutors await for Mangione to return to the city, the NYPD is continuing their investigation, collecting evidence and looking into Mangione's past and social media presence. A former roommate from his time living in Hawaii says Mangione had a lingering back issue.
I knew he was going to have a surgery, so earlier this year I checked in with him. He confirmed that he had surgery, and he sent me the x-rays. It looked heinous with just giant screws going into his spine. After that, he called me once. I didn't pick up. We kind of texted a little bit, but unfortunately, I feel terrible now. I wish, I would have made more of an effort to communicate with him.
United Healthcare Group, that is the company that CEO Brian Thompson worked for. They did release a statement on this arrest, saying they hope it brings some relief to Thompson's family, friends, and colleagues, while also thanking law enforcement for their efforts. The Mangione family, they also released a statement late last night saying that they are shocked and devastated by Luigi's arrest and offered up prayers for Brian Thompson's family. Jamie?
For more on this, I'm joined by Rodney Harrison, former chief of department at the NYPD and a former police commissioner for the Suffolk County Police Department. He's now the chief strategy officer for Patron Risk, a global consulting firm. Mr. Harrison, good morning. Thank you for being here. I first want to get your reaction to what happened in Altoona yesterday.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. And I think the chief of detectives put it pretty well when he said this was old-fashioned police work done correctly and leading to an arrest situation. But there's still a lot more work that needs to be done. And I think that people are not understanding the importance of trying to engage our subject involved and reading him his Miranda warnings and seeing if he's willing to waive his rights or is he going to exercise his rights and ask for an attorney. But that's going to be the game changer into this investigation. If he's willing to talk and tell about what he did and why he did it, then we could go a certain direction in the investigation. If he chooses not to talk and requests for a lawyer, then a lot more work needs to be done regarding collecting evidence and matching it up to him and hopefully getting it prepared for a judicial process.
Well, it's so interesting in this day and age. So much is said before we even hear a word come out of his mouth. He had a strong online presence on Goodreads, leaving review for books. He tweeted a lot. He was on LinkedIn. From your years in law enforcement, does that kind of online profile help with the investigation?
Well, everything helps out with the investigation, but the one thing that's going to be extremely important is putting a story together for the jurors if it happens to go to trial. Collecting every little bit of evidence from beginning to end, from when he got on the bus to when he came to New York City, from when he committed the act and when he aggressed, and as well as going back to Pennsylvania, is going to tell the story. And if they're able to put a timeline of video and show exactly everything that the perpetrator did, Luigi Mangione did involved to this case, it's going to help strengthen the case and be able to present it to a jury of his peers.
So he was found with multiple fake IDs, a passport, all this other evidence. From your years in policing, do you think that everything he had on his person at the time and everything else they've found since, does that all add up to you for being just for this crime? Does it feel like maybe there might have been more that he was trying to plan?
You know, the worst thing you can do is speculate. But if you ask me to make an investigative guess, it seems like this was a isolated incident, an intended target, and it seemed like he was on a mission. Was this something that he worked as a lone wolf, or was he working with other individuals? Time will be able to provide that information. But it definitely is a unique situation when you have an individual that's an Ivy League student that kind of fell off the radar from his family and then came to New York to commit this heinous crime.
Yeah, piecing together a lot of the puzzle pieces that we were reading on social media yesterday about a back surgery, about him glamorizing the Unabomber. Let's also talk about the process of bringing him back, extraditing him to New York. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so he'll be brought in front of a judge, and they'll look to see if he's willing to waive extradition. And if so, he'll be brought back to the Manhattan prosecutors and be charged with what I'm being told looks like the homicide at this time. If not, then the investigators from Manhattan will present to a judge in Pennsylvania the reason why they're looking to bring him back. And of course, eventually he'll have to face these charges eventually.
Okay, former NYPD Chief of Department Rodney Harrison, really appreciate your perspective on this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
It is not a pretty day out there at all. Fog and drizzle all day, turning heavy tonight. Here's Guy now with the forecast.
Forecast highs today make it to right around 54 degrees. That is well above average. Some drizzle in the forecast today. Upper 40s by lunchtime. Cloudy and gray, a little damp out there as well. 50 tonight, showers will move in. Still mainly dry at 6 o'clock this evening, but we'll have developing rain showers. Most of the rain will be light tonight, even into the overnight hours. Rain really doesn't pick up tomorrow morning until around 8, 9 a.m. You have some downpours, and by tomorrow afternoon, this is really going to be the brunt of the storm, with some thunderstorms embedded in those rain showers, some isolated flooding as well, and winds gusting up to around 45 miles per hour. Notice temperatures go up to 62, well above average, and then we're down to 30s here for both Thursday and Friday, mid-30s Thursday, Friday, even Saturday, some lingering 30s here. Sunday and Monday, temperatures in the 40s with rain showers returning as you get into Sunday.
We come back. Two acting legends are wrapping up their run in The Roommate on Broadway this weekend. Mia Farrow, one half of the powerhouse duo, recently sat down with Frank Zalella to talk about the play. We will bring you that conversation after the break.